Imagine ancient civilizations more advanced than us. Knowledge lost in the sands of time. Earth reset countless times, histories erased, leaving fragments of truth. Unraveling mysteries. Secrets of our past could change everything. (2024). A year like any other? Or so we think. We believe we stand at the pinnacle of progress. But what if we're wrong? Imagine a world where giants roamed the earth, where dragons soared through the skies, and magic was not a fairy tale, but a science mastered by a chosen few. These are the stories we tell our children, the myths and legends passed down through generations. But what if these stories are more than just fiction? What if they are echoes of a forgotten past, distorted memories of a time when humanity possessed knowledge and power beyond our wildest dreams? The earth bears the scars of its past, deep wounds etched into its very bones. Mountains thrust skyward by unimaginable forces. Canyons carved by floods that make our history books look like children's scribbles. These are not just geological formations. They are whispers of cataclysms, of events so powerful they could shatter mountains, drown continents, and wipe entire civilizations from the face of the earth. Consider the Younger Dryas event, a sudden plunge into a mini ice age that gripped the planet around 12,000 years ago. Mammoths flash frozen, their last meals still undigested. Coastal settlements swallowed by rising seas. Imagine a world where knowledge is lost faster than it's gained, where each cataclysm, each upheaval, throws humanity back to the Stone Age, forcing us to rebuild from scratch. This is the Great Forgetting, a cycle of destruction and rebirth that has haunted humanity since the dawn of time. Each time we climb back to the peak of our potential. Each time we come close to unlocking the secrets of the universe. The cycle resets, the earth shudders, the seas rise, and our cities, our monuments, our libraries, all reduced to dust and debris. But what if something survived? What if hidden deep beneath the earth, buried beneath layers of sediment and forgotten history, lie remnants of these lost civilizations? The ocean depths, a realm of perpetual twilight, home to creatures stranger than any myth. But what else lurks down there, in the abyssal plains and trenches where sunlight dares not penetrate? Some say the ruins of lost cities lie submerged beneath the waves. Atlantis, Lemuria, names that echo through history, whispered in hushed tones, dismissed as mere legends. But what if there's more to these stories than we realize? What if, hidden beneath the waves, lie the remnants of civilizations that mastered technologies we can only dream of? We pride ourselves on our technological prowess. Our smartphones, our computers, our rockets that pierce the heavens, these are the hallmarks of our modern age. But what if we're not as clever as we think we are? Scattered across the globe, like pieces of a shattered mirror, are artifacts that defy easy explanation. The Antikythera Mechanism, for example, a device of bronze and gears salvaged from a shipwreck off the coast of Greece, dating back over 2,000 years. This ancient machine has been called the world's first computer. Consider the pyramids of Giza. Monuments of such staggering scale and precision that they beggar belief. Mainstream historians tell us they were built with copper tools and brute force. But the evidence tells a different story. The Egyptians left behind intricate carvings, depicting what appear to be electric lamps and batteries. Could they have possessed knowledge of electricity thousands of years before Edison? And what about the Baghdad Battery? A collection of clay pots, copper tubes, and iron rods dating back to the Parthian or Sassanid period. Section 3. The language of the gods. Across cultures, separated by vast oceans and millennia, we find echoes of a forgotten knowledge. The ancient Indians, for example, spoke of flying machines described in their sacred texts. These texts, composed thousands of years ago, contain detailed descriptions of aeronautics, metallurgy, even weapons that sound eerily similar to modern-day lasers. Could these be the remnants of a global civilization? A civilization that possessed technology beyond our wildest dreams? Section 1. Echoes in stone and clay. The written word. A relatively recent invention in the grand scheme of things. But what about the words etched in stone, carved into clay tablets, painted on cave walls? These are the oldest stories, passed down through millennia, surviving wars, disasters, the slow, relentless erosion of time itself. One of the earliest known works of literature, originating in ancient Mesopotamia. It tells the tale of a king, a flood, a search for immortality. Section 2. The Flood. A universal memory? From the Americas to the Middle East, from the Arctic Circle to the islands of the Pacific, the flood myth persists. The story of a great deluge that cleansed the earth, wiping the slate clean, giving humanity a second chance. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, it's Noah's Ark. In Hindu mythology, it's Manu and the Matsya avatar. The details differ, but the core narrative remains the same. A catastrophic flood, a chosen few who survive, a world reborn. The earth bears the scars of countless floods. We tend to think of ancient Egypt as the cradle of civilization. The pyramids, the Sphinx, the hieroglyphs, these are the icons of a bygone era. But what if Egypt was not the beginning? What if, as some scholars suggest, there was a civilization even older, even more advanced, that predated the pharaohs by millennia? Hidden beneath the sands, lost to the ravages of time, lie tantalizing clues. The Sphinx itself, for example, eroded by wind and sand, yet bearing the unmistakable features of a lion. Some geologists believe the Sphinx is far older than the surrounding pyramids, its erosion pattern suggesting it was carved during a time when the Sahara was a lush green savanna. And what about the mysterious Osirian, an underground chamber at Abydos? Its massive granite blocks carved with such precision that they defy explanation. We scoff at fairy tales. We dismiss them as children's stories, as flights of fancy, as pure imagination. But what if there's something more? What if buried beneath layers of metaphor and embellishment lie kernels of truth? Consider the stories we tell our children. Jack and the Beanstalk. A tale of a boy who climbs a magical beanstalk and encounters a giant. Could this be a distorted memory of a time when giants roamed the earth? Or what about the Pied Piper of Hamelin? A mysterious figure who uses music to lure away rats, and then, when denied payment, leads the town's children away as well. The line between fact and fantasy is often blurry. What we consider myth today might have been considered history by our ancestors. And what we consider history today might be revealed as myth tomorrow. Take dragons, for example. These mythical creatures appear in stories from cultures all over the world. In Chinese mythology, they're benevolent beings associated with wisdom and good fortune. In European folklore, they're often depicted as fearsome beasts, guarding hoards of treasure. Could these stories have been inspired by real creatures? Some researchers speculate that ancient people might have discovered dinosaur fossils, misinterpreting the remains as evidence of dragons. The more we learn about our planet, the more we realize how much we don't know. New species are discovered all the time, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Consider the case of the giant squid. For centuries, sailors told tales of monstrous creatures with tentacles as thick as tree trunks, capable of dragging ships to their doom. These stories were dismissed as maritime folklore, the stuff of drunken sailors' yarns. Then, in the 19th century, giant squid carcasses began to wash ashore, providing tangible evidence of these elusive creatures. What other mythical beings might turn out to be real? What if the dragons of our legends were based on actual animals, now long extinct? Or perhaps they were something else entirely, something we haven't even begun to imagine. History as we know it is like a book with pages torn out, chapters missing, paragraphs blacked out. We're left with a fragmented narrative, a puzzle with crucial pieces missing. But who tore out these pages? Who benefits from keeping us in the dark? Some whisper of secret societies, ancient orders tasked with guarding forbidden knowledge. They say these gatekeepers have shaped the course of history from the shadows, manipulating events, controlling the flow of information, ensuring that certain truths remain hidden. Others point to governments and powerful institutions, driven by agendas we can only guess at. Imagine a library hidden deep beneath the earth. Its shelves lined with scrolls and codices containing knowledge so powerful, so dangerous, that it could shatter the very foundations of our world. This is the stuff of legend. But what if it's more than just a story? What if there are those who believe that certain truths are too dangerous for the masses to handle? That knowledge is power, and that power should be kept in the hands of a select few. They say knowledge is power. But what about the power of keeping knowledge hidden? The power to control the narrative, to shape the beliefs of millions, to maintain the status quo. Antarctica. A continent of ice and snow, a desolate wasteland at the bottom of the world. Or so we're told. But what if Antarctica holds secrets more profound, more unsettling than we can imagine? Rumors abound of ancient pyramids buried beneath the ice, of lost cities frozen in time, of advanced technologies hidden from prying eyes. Some claim that Antarctica was once a tropical paradise, home to a civilization far more advanced than our own. They say a cataclysmic event, a shift in the Earth's axis, plunged this once great civilization into an icy grave. Others whisper of government cover-ups, of secret expeditions, of strange discoveries kept hidden from the public. They speak of artifacts that defy explanation, of technologies that could rewrite our understanding of history. Are these just wild theories, fueled by our fascination with the unknown? Or is there something more to these whispers in the ice? Something that challenges everything we thought we knew about our planet, about our past, about ourselves. The truth, as they say, is out there, buried beneath layers of ice, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. The Earth spins, a blue marble hurtling through the vastness of space. Eons pass in the blink of a cosmic eye. And still, the cycle continues. Civilizations rise, reaching for the stars, their achievements etched in stone and song. And then, just as quickly, they fall, victims of their own hubris, perhaps. Or maybe just unlucky players in a cosmic game whose rules we barely comprehend. The Earth doesn't care. It shrugs off its civilizations like a dog shedding water after a swim. Continents drift, mountains crumble. The very air we breathe undergoes subtle yet profound transformations. The Earth is a canvas, constantly being painted and repainted by the forces of nature. And we, my friends, are but brushstrokes. Bold and bright for a moment, then fading into the background, our stories absorbed into the grand tapestry of time. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, to believe that our problems, our achievements, are all that matter. But then we look up at the stars. Millions upon millions of stars, each one a sun, perhaps orbited by its own planets, its own civilizations. Are they looking up at us, wondering if we're out here? Do they have their own stories of lost worlds, of forgotten cycles, of the arrogance of those who came before? The universe is a vast and mysterious place, and we, here on this little blue planet, are just beginning to scratch the surface of its secrets. Perhaps it's time we embrace a little humility, to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers, to accept that our place in the cosmos is both precious and precarious, and to remember that even the greatest civilizations eventually crumble to dust. Imagine, for a moment, archaeologists of the future, picking through the ruins of our cities, our monuments, our libraries, trying to piece together the story of who we were, what we believed, what we accomplished. What will they make of our skyscrapers, our iPhones, our nuclear weapons? Will they see us as a pinnacle of progress, or as a cautionary tale? Will they marvel at our ingenuity, or shake their heads at our folly? The truth is, we can't know. The future is as much a mystery as the past. But perhaps that's the point. The search for knowledge, the quest to understand our place in the universe. These are journeys without a final destination. They are ongoing processes, fueled by curiosity, by wonder, by the humbling realization that the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. So, let us embrace the unknown. Let us delve into the forgotten corners of history, explore the fringes of science, and never stop asking questions. For in the words of the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, the unexamined life is not worth living.